Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Adoptions from the Heart TV. I'm your host, Amanda Aliberti. Sometimes in adoption, birth parents and adoptive families connect on their own. We call that an identified adoption. Today we're going to be sitting down with a family who did just that. They matched with their birth parent ahead of time and contacted the agency so that we could be there to provide our services. So now let's turn to Cathryne and Michelle.
Hi guys, how are you doing today? I'm so glad you got you had this opportunity to come in and kind of tell us a little bit more about your story, how you guys felt, kind of the whole process of how you came to be parents of Malachi.
I guess you want the short story or the long story? Through a friend, we found out that there was a mom that she knew she wasn't going to be able to take care of a baby the way that she wants, and so we met with her, and we were thinking we had about a month or 2 months, but then 3 days later, Malachi came. So we kind of went on a fast track of everything.
It was a pretty big fast track too.
Yes. Yeah.
So we live in Delaware. So in Delaware, private adoptions are illegal. So you had found that out kind of in the process of trying to reach out and figure out what needed to be done, right?
Yeah.
So that you were able to adopt this little boy. And so you reached out to us and we kind of explained the process. And I think he was born the day that we first started doing your home study paperwork. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. You guys were very good about helping us because the process usually takes a lot longer, but you guys were great through it all.
You guys were great too, because we can only be as fast as you can be and as fast as we can get the paperwork in and stuff.
A lot of homework.
It was a lot of homework. It was a very quick process, but and Malachi had to be in the hospital for a little while. So talk a little bit about your experience there.
The day that he was born, we got a call from his grandmother saying that his mom gave birth to him, and we went over there right away. We had a little bit of problems going to see him just because the paperwork wasn't done yet. So the following day we went and we got to see Malachi.
Take time.
He's just a champ. That's what I have to say about him. He's a warrior. You know, he's a really strong. All we did really was just be there for him.
You were there. He was in there for was it 20? Was it a whole month?
Almost a whole month.
It was like 27 days, and the nurses were amazing. They really were. The doctors were amazing. They said just be there with him and hold him and love him. And you know, they just kept on saying like he's doing great. Me never seeing something like that, I was like, how is this doing great? But he's just such a trooper, and we never left his side. It was either my wife or I there with him, and when we would hold him, it would just soothe him. And now that I look at it, it went pretty fast, but when you're going day to day, it was tough. But he's just an incredible little boy. He really is. You know, looking back on it, it's just incredible. It's incredible.
So he's 9 months old now.
He's 9 months old.
Yeah. How long? Because he was born addicted, right? He had to stay in the hospital for a little while for some withdrawal. Once you got out of the hospital, was there any effects after, like being discharged from the hospital, that you noticed that he still had, or he was pretty?
Maybe a tremor or two, but I think that was it. There's nothing else that we had to like really look out for. Maybe some like normal preemie stuff because they put him on a special formula. They say most preemies have that, but that didn't really correlate with the other stuff. It's just because of his age. Yeah, nothing. I guess we got really lucky and blessed with that. But
Now, you guys had been talking about adoption, I think, right? You had been talking about it for a little while, and it was kind of like this situation just kind of landed in your lap, right?
Yeah, I talked to the lady like 2 months prior, and she said, she would talk to the mom and stuff. And then I just one day said, I talked to our friend. I said, "Are you sure about adoption?" And because she never heard anything else about it, she was like, "Yeah." So, all right, well, we're meeting the mom tomorrow then.
Okay.
And then 3 days later.
So it was kind of a very quick process for you. And sometimes that does happen. We have that happen not just in Delaware, but in other states for licensing, where people connect to each other without us as part of the process. And so we deem that what's called an identified, because you guys have identified each other. So generally speaking, some of those identifieds are like some real, like substantial contact. Talk a little bit about the contact that you have had with the biological family since Kai has been born.
There really hasn't been too much. Just I think we got a text from the mom once, just for some pictures. If anything, everything's just been short.
Okay.
So we try not to push one way or the other. You just kind of.
You're open there for the contact whenever she's ready.
Yeah,
for
of course, of course.
In the hospital, when we were in the hospital with Malachi, I have to say, his biological mother was amazing. Every signature we needed, permission, she was on top of it. I can say that because she was very attentive for those, hospital, because we didn't have the power to do anything. And whenever she got a text,
and we weren't in the adoption process at that point quite yet, too. So
So whenever she got a text from either us or nurses, doctors, she was right on it. There was no wait. She just was best for her son, and you saw that right away. And it's true.
When you first heard about the story, right, were you nervous about the substance use? Like, did that freak you out at all, or?
No, but of course you're going to be worried because you really don't. If you've never experienced it, you don't know what you're getting into. It's just hard to see an innocent
baby have to go through some. Yeah.
It's not easy, but I guess if you want to say his was picture perfect, because it was rough, but it was smooth because we were both working. So, but
and clearly we can hear him in the background. Is there anything else kind of about your story that you would like to tell us? That's okay.
I guess we really just got lucky that everything went as smooth as it did for as fast as everything happened.
Well, we appreciate you coming in and talking, because identifieds don't happen that often. It's just an interesting, different dynamic, especially because in Delaware, private adoptions are illegal, so people have to work with an agency, and we have situations like yours where baby is born right away, and you guys as the family don't have a home setting. We gotta rush through as many things as we can to get things taken care of. So we appreciate your time coming in here and talking. So thank you so much.
Thank you for everything as well.
We appreciate you guys. We really do. He's a blessing, and if it wasn't for you guys, that little man wouldn't be a part of our life.
Thank you so much to Michelle and Cathryne for sharing your experience of adopting your son. We're hopeful that people can learn more about identified adoptions. Thanks so much.